All right. I know I've uploaded a while, but don't worry, I'm gonna upload more. Okay. So this is my opinion about the school system, basically. Okay. The first thing is grades. Now, the way grades work is the way school sees it. If you have an A, you're really smart, but if you have an F, you're really dumb, and that's how it works in school. And I think that's wrong, and it shouldn't be like that. I remember one time I had a friend in school. I'm not gonna say that person's name because but I had a friend in school, and that person, I ain't even gonna say that person's gender because some people are crazy, but that person had really good grades. They had really, really, really good grades. One time though, they had straight A's constantly, but one time they didn't get A. Not in a report card, but a normal grade. They didn't get A. They got a bad grade, and he was depressed and leaning over from this, and he was really sad about that. And that's what I hate about school because that person is really smart, not because of the A's, but just because he is really smart. So when that person saw that he had an F, it wasn't an F, it was just a bad grade. Anything lower than a B to him, that makes him depressed. And it's because of school. Like he shouldn't think that he shouldn't. Now I don't know what he was, thinking, but he shouldn't have thought that he was stupid or like I failed. No, he did not fail. Okay, in my book. Another time too, I remember I used to be like that. When I didn't get like straight A's, I would get upset. And I didn't realize that. How can a school determine if a person is smart or not? Like that doesn't make sense. If if I get straight A's, how does that determine if I'm smart or not? Okay, I'll tell you what. If you get A's and F's in school, you might be smart or dumb, but you're smart or dumb in school. Nobody goes to school forever, even in college. Even in college, you eventually will get out of college and go to a proper job. And I'm not talking about college. I'm talking about grade school. But in grade school, you might be smart and dumb in there, but how are you in the real world? If you get straight A's in school, are you a straight A student in the real world? Are you really smart in the real world? For example, a person that gets straight A's and a person that gets straight F's are no two different people. They are the exact same. The only difference might be gender. But besides gender, they're the exact same people. Okay. If if someone calls a person that gets bad grades dumb, they are dumb in school. You don't stay in school forever. And they're not even dumb at all. They might not pay attention in class, but they're not dumb. They're not actually dumb. When they get out to the real world, they might know how to invest. They might know how to do this. They might know how to do that. You don't know that. Unless you're like a close friend of that person, you don't know that. You don't know that at all. How do you not know that person that gets F's and straight F's is really smart out of school? They know what they're doing. They know how to do this and how to do that. They know how to help people. They know they're just really intellectual. But you don't know that. Maybe when they go to school, they might struggle because it might be too difficult for them. But in reality, when they get out of school, they making money. They're doing this. They're doing that. You don't know that. Meanwhile, you too focused on school to even focus on your own life. You might get straight A's, but you might be like I'm not focusing on college because college is a whole different ball game. But for grade school, you might be focused too much on school. You can't even focus on your own life. You study too much. You get straight A's, but you can't focus on your life. Okay, that's why I don't like the school's grade system. The only thing school is good for is meeting with people. That's the only thing it's good for, in my opinion. You get to meet with other people are your age. No matter what grade you're in, it will always be people near your age. Always. Um, that's why I don't really mess with school, but I like enough to deal with it. Okay. If I get if I get B's, okay, let's say I got all A's and one F, right? That F does not make me stupid. I am still a very smart guy, with or without an A. I'm very smart. Okay. The only time where that might be different is in college. Because college you have to get good grades. But like I said, for the third time, I'm gonna talk about that in another video about college. Because college you kinda have to you have to do good. It's actually okay, for example, if this is another thing too, what I hate about school. It's like when they teach you things besides elementary school, when you get to middle high school, it's like they try to prepare you to college. But here's the thing: everybody doesn't go to college. Okay, some people will go to college and some people won't. Okay, not everyone is meant for college. Some people are, some people aren't. So, for example, this is gonna talk about. I'm talking about college too, because grades do matter in college. Okay, if you're trying to be a doctor, or not even a surgeon, but a doctor to help the surgeon, you need to have good grades. Because if you get a say you cheat in college, right? Don't please don't do that, because that's college is extremely that's serious. But say you cheat in college, right? You get straight A's, but you cheated for that, right? And one day you get this patient. You're not the surgeon, but you help the surgeon. You're the surgeon's aide, and he's in critical condition. The surgeon tells you to get an item, but you don't know what it is, and because of that, he dies. You caused that because you cheated and you got bad grades. And the reason, well, I don't know for sure. I don't go to college, but I feel like if they were to kick you out because you got bad grades, they need to do that, bro. Because if you're trying to be a surgeon or a doctor, you need to get good grades. You really need to pay attention. You need to know how to do this. You need to know how to do that. That is important. That's really, really important. Okay. But if you're trying to like work at McDonald's, oh, I know, not McDonald's, but if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, then you don't need to go to college. You can be an entrepreneur with or without college. Okay. Me personally, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to work for myself. So if I want to work for myself, will X plus Y divided by Z help me? It might help me if I was to go to college to be a carpenter, but I don't want to do that. I want to be an entrepreneur. So beyond elementary school is when they start teaching you things that you will never use in life unless you go to college. The only way you're going to use that, you might use that is you go to college. Like I said, not everybody in this world is made for college. Some people are and some people aren't. Some people are more successful without college. Some people are more successful with it. Okay, the only subject that I do like is ELA because it teaches you how to write. No, two things. ELA helps with reading. What else does it help with? English and a little bit of cursive. I mess with ELA, but all the other subjects are pointless in my opinion. ELA is the only subject that I actually like really mess with throughout all of grade school, one kindergarten through 12. It's the only subject where it's kind of interesting to me. But all the other subjects don't really teach you anything. Okay, science, for example, you can learn about the weather. Like I said, maybe you want to be a businessman. I mean, not a businessman, a reporter. That might be useful, but not. Do you want to be a reporter? Yes. Okay, remember the information, but do you not want to be? You want to be an entrepreneur? What's it going to do? This is what I wish they would do. When you got an elementary school, they would give you two options. They would give you an option to keep going to school all the way to 12 if you want to go to college. If you don't want to go to college, you still do go to school, but they teach you stuff that's actually useful, right? Like for example, for me, sixth grade is middle school for me down here, which I'm still not gonna say my location. But say for instance, as soon as you go to sixth grade, you want to go to college, it's on. Like you have to really pay attention. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. It's not that the work is hard, not necessarily that the work is difficult or not, but you still do gotta pay attention. You get good grades, boom. Okay, grades might actually matter because college grades are important. Not necessarily grade school, but college are very important. But say you don't want to go to college, right? So you still go to 60-12, but it's not about stuff you don't not gonna use. Okay, they make it in a way where everything that you learn through 6 to 12th grade, where you don't want to go to college, you're still gonna get that diploma. Where you go this one or that one, you're still gonna go to get your diploma. But if you want a higher education, you should probably go over there. But if you don't want to, say people won't be on this side, want to be an entrepreneur, right? Okay, so they teach you things that you actually might use. They teach you about stocks. They teach you about two things. Real estate investing, which I don't know. I know stock investing. It's stock investing. They might teach you investing. They might teach you different things about the world. They might teach you this. And grades might not even really be a thing. And if you get a bad grade, it's all good. They're not really going to complain as the people over there. Because that's the problem with school. They teach you things that you actually might use in college. Okay? But not everybody goes to college. Not everybody does that. When you get out of school, I'm not gonna say they force you to go to college. They don't, but it's like they want you to. The things that they teach, it's like you're only using in college. But not everyone's gonna go to college. If I went to college, I would be successful, not because of manifestation, but just because I know how smart I am. But I don't want to go to college. I want to be an entrepreneur. So this stuff that I'm learning ain't really gonna help me at all. ELA is the only subject that ELA is the only subject because it focuses much on reading, which is kind of useful at times. It might not be that useful, but it's still a lot useful on the other subjects. Like math is pointless. Besides, but beyond elementary school, you ain't gonna use none of that. Okay, science is unuseful, and social studies is really unuseful unless you're gonna be a dermatologist. Like only when you go to college will all these things be useful. But not everyone is supposed to go to college. I know I said that multiple times now, but that's why I don't mess with school that much, bro, because they teach you things that you never gonna use unless you go to college. But let's say you do go to college and you use every single one of these things they've taught you in school since kindergarten, since 12th grade. But let's say you don't. Next thing you know, you making let's say you let's say you 18 years old, right? And how can I say this? You're 18. You just finished 12th grade, right? You get a job at Sonic. Now you get lucky too. They managed to pay you $11 an hour, which is really, really good. That's a lot of money an hour. Remember, this is just out pure out of luck. Seriously, you got lucky. But they managed to give you $11 an hour if you would have worked there. You work for a total. This is an estimate because I don't even know how this stuff works. This is a random estimate, okay? So I might be wrong, but don't judge me. I don't have a job. You work for a total of 6 hours or seven, and let's say you get paid each week $100, and at a month you might get paid $600 or something like that, or $1,000. I see it like a random estimate, okay? So you're making good money. This is you without going to college. You got your diploma, but you didn't go to college. Okay. About a month later, you learn about something called investing. But you learn there are two different types: real estate and stock investing. Now, real estate was a little too complicated, but you learned about stock investing, right? Now, remember, you're 18. You so you get a credit card. You set up a bank. You get a credit card. Da da da. Okay. Now you just got your check for about $600, right? You load the money all to your credit card to your bank. You have an option. You learn that when you invest, not just from the videos, but you probably assume I should probably invest in a company that's well known. So the first company you see when you open up that investing app, for me, it's gonna be Robinhood, is Apple. One stock is about $105. However, it's expensive, but you notice something. The arrow is pointing upwards. It's not going down. It's straight, then it's going upward. And you look, and for the past months and years, that arrow has always kind of been pointing upward. But 2 years ago, it was all the way up. Now it's just slowly kind of going back up there. You invest about 4 shares, so about 510, a random estimate, $510, right? Let's just say that. You have about $90 left. But you save that $90. You save it, right? You wait about a month, because you have to wait a while. You have to wait a minute when you invest. A month later, actually, no, you check every week. It seems to go up by you get a $20 profit around every week, around. And by a month, you have about a $200 profit. So now you have about $810. Now you see that, but you were saying, do I sell or do I see you don't know what to do. Okay, you sell. You could have waited, but you sell because you're new, so you don't want to miss that money, so you just sell it, and you made about $200 profit. So I'm like, wow, I just made $200. It took a month to get it, but like that's dope. And remember, you're still working, so you really got a 600 plus your paycheck, so you made really an $800 profit. And this is all from not working. Now I'm just saying, guy with the red hair, $800 ain't much, I know, but at least you know the fundamentals of investing. And then from that point on, you become so rich off investing. You eventually you invest $100 and $1,000, then 10,000, 100,000, eventually a million. One day you invest $1 million. You're a very successful man, and you don't go to college because you're an entrepreneur. All that stuff you've learned at school doesn't even matter at this point. You never use it. But let's say you do go to college. Say you want to be a carpenter. Okay, you take your time in college. You don't cheat because you're not supposed to cheat in college. You don't do that. You take your time, you get good grades, and the stuff you learn in school actually matters. Now you see the difference between those two? Okay. He was still successful with entrepreneurship. One form being investing. There are multiple forms, but one form is investing. This side was successful as well. Both, where do you go to college or where do you know you will always be successful? Okay, you don't have to go to college to be successful in life. Okay, you don't. You can still be successful being an entrepreneur. So if you want to go to college, you don't have to. You can always still be successful without going to college. Okay, take this from a guy, just a random person. But you don't have to go to college to be successful. Okay, you can always be successful if you just be an entrepreneur or work for yourself. You ain't gotta go to college. Yeah, you might be a surgeon making 20,000 an hour or something. Hold on, I ain't gonna say an hour or like $100 an hour, but you still working. You technically working for somebody when you want to work for yourself. So just keep that in mind. Okay, bro, this red haired guy's out, but thank you for watching. I appreciate you very much.